Hey guys, how are you today? It's Mo from ProgrammerTube. In today's video, I want to show you how to remove a character from a string in C++. So if you're interested, let's get started. Alright, so let's see how we can remove a character from a string. Let's assume we have a string char str equals hello. How do we remove the L character from this string? Let's see how we can do that. First of all, we're going to need two pointers. Let's assume we have a p source pointer and a p destination pointer. Of course, the p source will point to the beginning of our string, and p dist, let's assume there's an output buffer that it points to. The first thing we want to do is in our remove char function, we're going to pass in the string as a char pointer p and the character we want to remove as a char c. For now, let's assume we're using an output buffer. So the first thing we want to do is we check if that the contents of p source is not the character we want to remove. In that case, we simply copy it to the destination. So we say contents of p destination equals contents of p source. At the same time, we advance both the destination and the source pointer. So in this example here, we're going to copy h to here and then advance the two pointers. And then we continue. Oh, this character is not the one we want to remove. Do the same thing, copy it over to destination and advance the two pointers. Now we come to the character that we want to remove. If this is the character we want to remove, we simply just skip it. We don't want to copy it over. So we just say p source plus plus. As a result, our p source pointer is now moved ahead. Again, we encounter the same character. In this case, we say p source plus plus again, move to the next one. And now here, since the content is not the character we want to remove, copy it over and advance both pointers. At this point, we come to the end of our string by encountering the null terminating character here. So what we want to do here, we want to say break out of the loop, and that's how we finish processing this string. However, there's one thing we need to take care of, which is our output buffer has to be null terminated. In order to make it null terminated, we just simply copy a null pointer at the end, because otherwise we will not have a valid string. So that's pretty much it. That's how we remove the character that is passed in to our function. Now, the question remains is that do we really need a second buffer? Well, the answer is that we don't, because we can simply do everything in place. If we have the destination pointer pointing to the same string, then we simply can do in place copy. And then once we get to the end of it, we put a null character here overriding the actual string length. Alright, it's time to write some code. Let's switch over to Visual Studio and see how we can do that. Okay, before we jump into the code, I just want to make sure you have Visual Studio 2015 installed on your machine. So make sure you go to this link here, download the community free edition of Visual Studio so that we can get started. Okay, so here I am on Visual Studio. Let's go ahead and create a new project. Click on File, New Project. Make sure you select Visual C++, Win32 console application. Let's call our program here remove char from string. Click OK. On this page, just click Next. Also on this page, just click Finish. We don't want to change anything here. Let's see how we can implement remove char from string. So it's going to be a void function, remove char from string. Takes in a char pointer p and a char c. You can also say integer c, but let's just leave it like that. Alright, so the first thing you should always do is check for invalid parameters. If p is null, we simply cannot do anything here. We're just can say return. There's nothing we can do. Alright, we're going to need two pointers, the source and destination. I'm going to use the p itself as the source. I'm going to just define destination pointer also equals to p, both pointing at the start of the string. Okay, so now we can say while contents of p, meaning that as long as we are not at the null termination, then we can continue the loop. So this is the loop condition. It's going to break out of this loop once we hit the null termination. Always write your loops like this, where you have continuation condition, and make sure that you have the pointer advanced, otherwise you end up in an infinite loop. So now we say if contents of p is not equal to c, then contents of p destination plus plus equals contents of p. So that's how we copy over everything to destination as long as it's not the same character we want to remove. And finally, we have to say contents of p dist equals the null termination. Alright, so this is remove character from string. Let's see how we can actually test it out. Let's define a string here equals hello, for example. And we can now say remove char from string str And we're going to remove the L character here. So we can print the string before and after. Let's do that. Let's print the string before and after. So basically we have our string. We say before remove, we print it out. Then we call our function, remove char from string. And we specify we want to remove L. Then we print it out afterwards. Let's compile this and run it. Control F5 on the keyboard. Click yes. So as you can see now, before remove, we have hello string. After remove, we only have HEO. So that's how you remove a character from a string. Let's try something else. Let's try to remove I from this string, for example. Okay, so before we remove it, then after the removal, without the I in it. In a future video, I'll show you how do we get rid of multiple characters from a string. If you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and see you in a future video. Thanks for watching.